Episode 15, D4.
Diving it. Diving it. Diving it. Diving it.
What do you think it's called? Diving
it. Diving it. Diving it. Diving it. Diving it.
Do the rap and the track, triple double, no assist. Yeah. Who would be? Oh, JT, that's just so wrong. You do. John Terry is shagging your wife. Oh man, what's up? What it do? Welcome back, Diving for Glory, episode 15, season 2. I'm your host, the title holder, Mr. Pep Corsiola, rolling solo, bruh. Did I try that I think I tried that last week. Either way, Sir Solomon has been withheld by the Ethiopian FA. He's not being released, at least until next week. So, yeah, man. It's just me, myself, and I. Corsiola in the building, man. What it do? This week, we got derbies. Yeah. Arsenal, Tottenham, and Liverpool, and Everton, and Roma Inter ain't really, but, good game. And then we're also going to look at some RB Leipzig coming out of Deutschland. They've been putting in work lately. As always, do our EPL review, do the big European League, the rest of the European leagues review, give you a little Champions League heads up, tell you what's up with the Boca River Plate game because it's insanity. Yeah, man, let's get it on. D4 Gia.
Hasta la vista, baby. Hasta la vista, baby.
All right. What it do? As mentioned, Mr. Corsiola doing this solo, man, Diving for Glory. I forgot all that, man. Posting every Monday on iTunes, YouTube, and Diving for Glory. Don't forget, we hit you Thursday episodes following Champions League games. Seriously might do one this weekend because, Man United Arsenal play this week. Got midweek games from Ligue 1 as well as Premier League. With all that being said, man, hit us up on Twitter at Diving for Glory and Facebook as well. Follow hashtag, subscribe, do all that. Yeah, I already adjusted the cup. I already tucked my jersey. My boots are laced. Diving for Glory, let's go. Right to the North London derby. I got it right, the right part of London. That is Arsenal at the Emirates hosting Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham coming off a wonderful victory, 1-0 victory over Inter. More so wonderful in the fact that they actually won versus the display. However, that is not the point. They show up at the London Derby. Both teams seem to be jockeying for top 4 position. And, man, this was an awesome, exciting, intense game. Just like a derby should be. But these are two teams that have serious top 4 hopes. And, with the way that City and Liverpool are looking and probably Chelsea, man, that leaves one spot up for grabs. So, with all that being said, set the backdrop, early penalty, Aubameyang puts it away, Arsenal's up, right? All right. That's how it goes. They're at home. But you know Tottenham's going to bring that back, and they certainly did. They brought it back pretty quick with a dire, I don't know what it was. I guess it was like a header, but certainly some fuckery by the goalie, Arsenal's goalie. Just did not look, I don't know. The announcer suggested that he tried to volleyball it out, and that's exactly what it looked like. Continuing on, not that many minutes later, 4 minutes later to be exact, Mr. Harold Kane hits him up from the PK. There it is, 2-1. Arsenal looking like the Arsenal of old, of Wenger old, but that is not to be. At halftime, Mr. Unai Emery, who, you know, you're still kind of wondering, like, he did so well at Sevilla. You would have to consider the time at PSG to be a slight failure just because winning the league is par for the course. Didn't really advance the Champions League aspirations and definitely paid the price for it, especially with not being able to manage the egos that were there last year once Neymar arrived. So here you are wondering what Unai Emery is made of. He signed about 5 players this summer to strengthen the defense of Arsenal, to give attitude to Arsenal. Mesut Ozil, who did not play in last week's game versus Bournemouth because he was not physical enough, according to Unai Emery, also did not start or play in this game. They are listing him as injured. So at halftime, as I mentioned, my whole point in saying that is that he brings on Lacazette, and he brings on Aaron Ramsey, who they have already elected not to sign. Takes off Mkhitaryan, takes off Alex Iwobi, which is almost like a duh type moment to me. But I know he likes Iwobi. Iwobi's been getting some time under him. Mkhitaryan, hit or miss. When he's on, he's on. But Ramsey was one of their best players last year. So it gets cranking not too long after that, as Aaron Ramsey is responsible for the assist to Aubameyang, who hits a stunner of a curler from the top of the box. Man, I mean, he just walked right into it, and I think the goalie got caught kind of flat-footed, kind of like, man, I didn't think he would actually shoot without doing so. No, he just took it right on. Meanwhile, it's just not looking good for Tottenham from the beginning of this game. A buddy of mine, not a buddy of mine, my Spurs informant, basically said that Arsenal dominated the first half. I thought they were by far the best team. I didn't feel it was dominating until I looked at the statistics. And it was domination. 10 total shots for Arsenal, 58% possession to Tottenham's 4, even though 4 of their shots were on target, 2 being the goals. With all that being said, 2 big chances in the first half for Arsenal. I mean, they were feisty, and they were looking at it. And then second half, it gets no better, really, as Arsenal gets 60% of the possession, 12 shots, 4 on target, to Tottenham 7. And, man, Arsenal was everything that they weren't in the Arsene Wenger era. They were unpredictable. They were physical. They were energetic. It was a hell of a performance in a derby game. Continuing on with the match detail, though, match narrative. Lacazette gets a lucky break with a slight deflection off of Dyer for the third goal, and then they get opened up for the Lucas Torreira goal, an assist from Aubameyang. It's 4-2. That is pretty much a wrap. In a last-ditch effort, Pochettino brings on Mora and Winks and Rose, basically, I guess, to try to win the game. Jan Vertonghen, who had a terrible game, gets a red card, his second yellow, I believe. At that point, you know, I mean, tempers were going this whole game. There was the moment that Dyer scored. He ran to the supporters with the shush gesture. The Arsenal team did not like it. The fans did not like it. Obviously, it was, but you know, revenge is a dish best served cold, and a 4-2 victory in the North London derby is quite impressive. We're going to look at Pochettino's lineup here. He did not start Harry Kane up top alone. He started that two-man thing that he likes to do with Son and Kane. And Son was the business in this game, I thought, for the first half at least. Super active. He looked like the guy that was going to get it going. There just did not seem to be enough linkage play here. They're missing, there was no Lamella in this game, I believe. He is out injured. Is he out injured? Yes, no Sanchez, no Trippier, and yeah, Lamella didn't even make the team, so he must be injured. So Dele Alli right behind Kane and Son, and then Dyer, Christian Eriksen deep in this scenario. He probably should have been the link-up guy, but there wasn't much linkage going on. Sissoko with another decent game, but it just was a lackluster performance. Afterwards, Pochettino blamed a tough week and fatigue. Bruh, rotate your motherfucking squad then. You got Danny Rose, who you never play. Like, play him. Play him every now and then, dude. Like, just to get the rotation. I got to criticize. I can't really speak to the tactics here. Just because they were missing that link-up player, and whether or not Arsenal, I mean, they just took Eriksen out of the game. As simple as that. And he's the one guy on that field who could link that back line with the midfield. And it just didn't happen enough in this game for Tottenham. Meanwhile, Torreira had a good game. Bellerin and Kolasinac were exceptional on the wings. And Aubameyang, outstanding. Again, man, just feels like a different Arsenal team. And with all that being said, Arsenal sit in the top 4. They are tied on points with Tottenham, but they have a 14 goal difference to Tottenham's 10. So 4th and 5th, Arsenal-Tottenham. This was a huge match. They both only language a point behind Chelsea. So I think 3, 4, 5 is going to, man, basically these 3 teams. As the beginning of the year, I picked Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, City, with Tottenham and Man United on the outside. That is going to be a race that I think will go down to the final day. Word up. I like man of the matches, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang balled out, 2 goals and an assist. Whew. And just general havoc, man. 2 shots on target, 4 total shots. 1 big chance miss, 2 key passes, and a big chance created. 90% passing. He was everything. He was everything in this game. And we're going to move along to another EPL game. I know we're so EPL centric, and normally we wouldn't do this in the back 4, but guess what? It's my show. It's my show this week, so I get to do what I want. With all that being said, I got to talk about the Liverpool Everton game. Like, it's the Mersey. Where do they get these Z? This is a Mercy. Lord have mercy. Merseyside Derby. Goes against every way that those words are spelled. But anyway, man, Merseyside Derby. Liverpool at Anfield hosting Everton. And Liverpool, superior team here, the team on the up and up, title contenders on an upstart Everton team, a team that started slow last year, dug their way out of relegation with Big Sam, or the relegation zone last year. They hired Big Sam. Big Sam brought them up to 10th. It was ugly ball, but they are not playing that type of ball this year. They're playing energetic. They're playing movement ball. Richarlison, they signed from Watford, I believe. Young kids, nice striker, and they still came out with a plan in this game because you're playing Liverpool. A plan to defend Liverpool and defend them well. They were not necessarily shy about moving forward. They would go forward if the opportunity arose. But for the most part, they were nice and compact. They were organized. They were ready for this game. I saw an article that said that Liverpool's front 3 are out of form, and I think that's one way to look at it. I mean, I don't know. You can talk about the reasoning for it, whether it be the midfield. They ran with this midfield last year. Coutinho left in January. And once Coutinho left, all of a sudden they went bananas. Coutinho will be awesome in this game, but he's not there. So Klopp tried a little something different with Salah up top alone, with Shaqiri, Firmino, and Mane behind him, and then a two-man midfield this time, Wijnaldum and Fabinho. Interesting. Still no Keita. If we're talking creativity, in my opinion, need a little more of that. But I think you got the back line, which is what I prefer for Liverpool, which is Trent Alexander, Gomez, Van Dijk, and Robertson. Super active. They got plenty chances, but man, Everton held it down. Did what they came to do. Played that 4-4-1-1. Like I said, compact. Richardson was all over the field, playing back, playing good defense. Statistics bear out what you would think, though. 16 total shots to 9 for Everton. But the key is that they both had 3 shots on target. So, again, Liverpool just not getting the midfield service. Even with Salah up there all alone and Klopp trying to make, Shaqiri almost the service guy, in my opinion. Shaqiri's too, honestly, man, I think Shaqiri's too greedy. I mean, you're like the fourth option out there, dude. Like, find your role, fit your role. I think another telling tale for Liverpool is going to be big chances, 5 big chances, 2 of them that hit the woodwork. So, with all that being said, Everton was certainly a bit lucky. Or were they? Because this game comes down to one thing and one thing only. The last play of the game. 6 minutes of stoppage time leads to a set piece kick that goes into the pile, gets headed away, and gets awkwardly swung at by Virgil van Dijk. And it goes high up in the air. And it looks like it's one of those weird ones that could, touch the bar, come down right in front of the bar or something. So the goalie wants to play it safe, at least in his mind. Pickford is trying to play it safe. And he reaches over the bar and keeps the ball in for some god-awful reason. And Mr. Liverpool himself, or the opposite, Divock Origi is standing there waiting to pounce. Poaches the goal in the 96th, 97th minute or whatever the hell it is. 1-0. Anfield goes crazy. Everton walk off with no points. Liverpool walk off with all 3. And Jurgen Klopp rushes the field and celebrates while the game is still going on. He'll be answering to the FA, I assume, for that. I think so. I think he's going to get in trouble for that. But you know how Klopp gets down. That's just how it goes. But man, painful way to lose the derby. Super painful. But that's how it goes in this game. The beautiful game is a cruel game. And that keeps Liverpool on pace with Manchester City. Liverpool still maintain their 2-point differential. 27 goals for and only 5 conceded. They lead the league in least amount of goals conceded. Alisson was awesome in this game. Liverpool staying up. Everton, that would have put them 5 points behind Tottenham. But with all that being said, they still sit in 6th place above Man United with 22 points with a 6-4-4 record. Everton's still solid. I think they have to be encouraged by the way they played. But there's no moral victories. There's only actual victories. Sorry, Everton. It's tough out there. Man of the match, there's only one man of the match, and that is Divock Origi. I don't give a fuck. Game winner, Merseyside derby, done. I don't give a fuck how many minutes he played. Let's see, how many minutes did he play? Divock Origi came on and played 12 minutes. Perfect. Goal! Naby Keita came on in the 71st minute for Shaqiri. I don't know. I'm not sure, Klopp. I'm not sure if I buy it. But it's hard to question lineup decisions, in my opinion, at this point in the season for Premier League teams because they play a game every 3 days until January, end of January. Literally, they play a game. It's insanity. So you got to do what you got to do. Got to save players, and they have another big. Liverpool have another big match coming up as well. They have Tuesday's games, and then they follow that up with Manchester United. Man, go ahead, Premier League. Appreciate that. Moving along, going to take you over to Serie A. Hit you with the Roma Inter game at Roma. Roma needing some points here. Inter coming off the midweek loss to Tottenham, as I just mentioned. And Inter still struggling to keep up with Juventus. But, I say that tongue-in-cheek because Juventus, nobody's really going to keep up with them. That is not really a hope. Inter just want to stay top 4, I'm sure. But, playing teams like Roma, beating them is what you got to do. And this game was fun, man. It was not a derby, but it certainly had that energy. As mentioned last week, I believe, Keita Balde came with his first Serie A goal and also had another one that game and an assist. But he opens up the scoring here in the 37th minute with a wonderful finish from a D'Ambrosio cross. And he was in the right place at the right time. So Inter are up here 1-0. And Cengiz Ünder, Turkey international, young kid. He's been blowing some easy goals lately, in my opinion. Man, did he put one down in this game. Top of the box. Caught it. Couple dribbles. Puts it in the top right corner. So, it was the near post to the goalie. Incredible goal. So it's 1-1, and then Inter's main man, Mauro Icardi, hits him with the header in the 66th minute. But not to be outdone, there's a penalty call on a handball. VAR replay gave the penalty. Alexander Kolarov of Manchester City fame, may I mention, nails it home. 2-2. That's how this game ends. Inter will feel hard done. They dominated possession. They had more shots on target. Here's the big story. 4 chances, 2 big chances missed. 14 of their 17 shots were inside the box. Inter need to finish a little bit better. There were also some stark misses here by Roma. Man, they could have done better in some of their finishing. Patrick Schick, man, holy shit, did he have a wonderful layoff to, who was it? It was Florenzi. Yeah, wonderful, dude. He drove. He's on the left side. He drove in and he backheeled it just perfectly into Florenzi's path and bloop, woodwork. Sorry, bruh. Did not get the assist, but damn, it was beautiful. Perisic not doing much in this game, but Balde, Icardi, and Brozovic balling out. D'Ambrosio solid out there. Inter doing what they do, man, which is hit off Icardi, but they took a point away to Roma. Roma will feel hard done, man. They wanted all 3 points here, but it's tough out there in Serie A. And that leaves Inter second place, 11 points back of Juventus. About a third of the way through the season. So if this continues, they'll be in second place and lose the league by 20 points or so. Roma need those points. They needed them so bad. They got 1 point, which puts them in a 3-way tie, but they are ahead by goal difference. They're in 7th place with 20 points. They're a point back of 6th place Torino, and 5th place, 4 points behind 5th place Lazio. Roma needed that, man. No Checo in this game. Kluivert was nice in this game too, coming off the bench. And Pastore on for Ünder. Yeah, Roma certainly had some opportunities, but could not deliver. Yeah, man, Serie A. And we are going to move along over to Deutschland and talk about a team that I thought was starting slow, but apparently has really picked it up, and that is RB Leipzig. They were at home hosting second place Borussia Mönchengladbach. How do I pronounce this Germanic shit right, but not the Italian shit? That makes no sense. With all that being said, let's get into that, man. That match was an RB, was a Timo Werner show, for lack of a better description. Put up a brace on him, hit him off in the 3rd minute with a wonderful, just clinical finish, and then right at the end of the first half, puts the game away as RB win this game 2-0 over Mönchengladbach. The assist there was by Yusuf Poulsen, who actually did all the work. Werner came and just finished it up on an empty goal, but still got the brace. This was Leipzig going buck wild, basically. They did not have the majority of the possession, but they still had more shots. They had more shots on target. Almost half of their shots were on target. 4 big chances, 3 of them missed. They could have done a lot more. This was pretty much their game from start to end, which is a disappointing performance by Mönchengladbach, who have been solid all year. They came out in a 4-1-4-1, very defensively set to play against the attacking style of RB Leipzig, and RB is seeming to come into form, as I believe they have not lost in 7 games. They've actually, let's double check that. Yeah, they've 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they have not lost in a while. They're looking solid, and they have crept their way back up the standings and sit 3rd place, a point behind Mönchengladbach and 8 points back of Dortmund. This was actually a win for Dortmund when you think about it. The 2 teams right below them, the team that was 2nd place, dropped points. And so Dortmund now lead the league by 7 points. That is by no means comfortable, as Bayern Munich are still in their top 4. But it's tough out there. I would have to give... tough out there. I got to find something new. Has to come better than that. Timo Werner, man of the match. 2 goals. I keep wondering if that guy's going to get sold, but I don't think so. I think he's about this level player. 85% passing. He was on point. Man of the match, Timo Werner. Watch out for Leipzig, man. They are in Europa, I believe. I think they're going to advance. Maybe not. I know Salzburg, their brothers, have been serving them up. But Leipzig is low-key after a down year last year, and even losing Keita in a slow start. They have been on a roll for sure. But that is the back 4. We'll go ahead and hit some link-up play to the midfield. EPL review coming up.
What was this? What was this? It was really. What was this? What was this? It was really good, Jim.
EPL going in. It's about to get crazy. They playing midweek this week, but how did it get started? It got started on Friday with Cardiff City doing absolutely nothing against Wolves. Maybe not deserving the point, but they sure got that point. They got all 3 points. Well, they just were awful as far as being clinical. 17 shots, only 3 on target, but there was a wonderful, wonderful goal in this game from founding father James Maddison. No, that's not him. What was the guy's name? That's on the wrong team. Oh, I'm in the wrong game. Either way, Cardiff getting much needed points over Wolves as Cardiff move out of the relegation zone and sit 16th place right now. They've been hard done as far as coming across goals, but they scored 2 of them in this game. and they did what they're supposed to do. Disappointing for the Wolves, who were sitting mid-table. They certainly could have used at least a point away to Cardiff B, but is what it is. I mean, look at this, dude. Look at this. 61% passing for Cardiff and 68% for Wolves. This was not a pretty game, but there was I was right. The second goal was a pretty goal. Junior Hoalet. I'm off to the Hoalet, yes, but wonderful goal, and that was that. I believe it was a nice little curler into the top corner. Cardiff take all 3 points. Huddersfield Town hosting Brighton Hove. And all the scoring here, most of the scoring happens first minute, first half, 1-0, Zanka. Huddersfield up. 32nd minute, Steve Mooney gets red carded out of the game, so they're playing 10 men. Finally, Shane Duffy breaks through in extra time, in halftime, and then shortly after, 70th minute, Florin Endon puts Brighton up 2-1. They were searching forever for that goal. As you would expect, the game that they were up a man, they dominated possession, dominated shots, a lot of big chances, not that clinical. Brighton isn't that great of a team, but they got all 3 points here, and that puts Brighton 11th on the table, 18 points. Huddersfield 17th, barely staving off the relegation zone at the moment with 10 points. So that was really tough for Huddersfield to go down, lose that man in a game that they were already up 1-0. Sorry. The champions, yay! Manchester City at home to AFC Bournemouth. Bournemouth, an upstart team this year, looking very solid, sitting in the top half of the table. Bernardo Silva got it cranking early in the 16th minute, but Callum Wilson brought it home right before half. So this looked like if you watched the game, of course I did. I mean, they were in there. Bournemouth were in there. They were not totally overwhelmed in the first half, I didn't think. It wasn't until second half that City really started getting going. But Bournemouth had their opportunities. When you play City, if you can attack them on the counter, you will get some opportunities. And they just did not finish them. Too big for a team that only had 4 total shots, which is what Bournemouth had. They had 2 big chances, and 2 big chances missed. So what are you going to do? City, clinical, 16 shots, 6 on target, 91% passing. Just to put that in perspective, for the other game that was 61%, and that's a team that has 73% of the possession. Zinchenko came off injured. Mendy's been injured. Raheem Sterling with another goal in this game. Leroy Sané with a wonderful assist to Ilkay Gundogan to finish it off. 3-1 City. The City train keeps on chugging along, and that leaves City top of the table by 2 points, and Bournemouth sit 9th with 20 points. But I mean, between 10th and 6th place, it's only 2 points separation. So they're still in there, doing extremely well. Even with that loss, they did what they could do against a superior team. Moving along, Leicester City complete a nightmare game for Watford. 2 Jamie Vardy goals. No, I'm wrong. A Jamie Vardy goal, and then a goal that was sparked by Jamie Vardy by founding father James Maddison. And it was a sick goal, and if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. It was a nice long pass from, let's see, who was that assist? Assist from Mark out from Albrighton, and he basically caught it off his chest, volleyed it off his knee, and caught it before it came, and before it hit the ground and put it in. 2-0, 23rd minute, Leicester win this game. Kapui goes off in the 90th minute with a red card, with a straight red card, I believe. Leicester take all 3 points. West Ham put Newcastle to the sword. 3-0, West Ham work out. Chicharito with a brace in this game. And West Ham, I don't know. I feel like they're doing way better than last year, even though they have 7 losses. I think they had a slow start to this year as well. They're sitting 13th place. Newcastle, for all their lack of goals, sit 15th. Only 3-point difference between those teams, as West Ham just got those 3 points. Crystal Palace playing, oh man, just out of form, just awful Burnley. They just, like, did the whole administration just quit in the summer or something, and they just didn't plan for the season? They took a 2-0. Another wonderful goal by Townsend at the end. A curler from the top of the box into the top corner. 2-0. Crystal Palace take all 3 points. They are not playing around this year as far as thinking about relegation. Crystal Palace sit 14th, though. I mean, they're still going to have the battle. Burnley, though, 19th with only 9 points. Ugh. In the words of King Push. Moving along. You already know I got a smile on my face. Southampton. Go up 2-0 on Manchester United. Southampton with the new coach. But Manchester United fight back through Marcus Rashford delivering a lucky bounce assist to Romelu Lukaku, who scored his first goal since September, and then an assist to Andre Herrera, who hit a sublime back heel to bring Manchester United even. That's all in the first half. Second half, nothing could be done. This was typical United, dominating possession, but getting outshot. More shots on target for Southampton. Like, what exactly are you doing out there, team? It's baffling, but it shouldn't be anymore because we're starting to see it every single week from Manchester United. Chelsea, they keep chugging along here and recover from their loss to Tottenham last week with a 2-0 over Fulham. And N'Golo Kante balled out in this game, doing his thing with a lovely assist to Pedro to open it up, and then Ruben Loftus-Cheek finishes it off with a Hazard-influenced sequence of events. Already discussed the 2 derbies. That is the Premier League. We're going to move along. Actually, let me recap that. Standings. So top 4, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal. Only 8 points to separate the top 4. So, I mean, that's still relatively tight, much tighter than last year. Man City ransacking with 43 goals, only 6 conceded. As I mentioned, Liverpool leading the league with only 5 conceded. Chelsea an impressive 30 goals, but lo and behold, Arsenal with 32 goals scored. So they're second in the league in offense, even though they've given up a very stout 18 goals. Ooh-wee. Run some other things for you here. Aubameyang leads the league in goals, has 10 goals this year. Sterling and Aguero follow it up with 8 apiece, but Sterling also with 6 assists leading the league, tied with Ryan Fraser and Aaron Ramsey. Speaking of Aaron Ramsey, man, like, the guy has to get more time. I get that he's gone this year, and which I don't really understand, but anyway, let's go ahead, man. La Liga. Hit you with some of these big games. Interesting. Real Madrid 2-0 over Valencia. It may not have been the most pretty thing, but they got the result. An own goal, and then an 83rd minute goal by Lucas Vasquez. I mean, it was mediocre pedestrian by Madrid standards, only 13 shots, but to a team like Valencia, who you know is pretty much going to sit back. So not a lot going here. No big chances created, even though 2 big chances were created and missed by Valencia. 2-0. Solari gets the La Liga win. So hard to complain with that after a week in which they beat Roma in midweek. Come back and beat Valencia. Real Betis with the 1-0 over Real Sociedad. Girona taking a point at home against Atletico. After going up in first half stoppage time with a Christian Stuani goal, they concede a own goal by Jonas Ramalho. So they will definitely feel hard done, even though run of play suggests that a draw is a fair result. But Girona still on the upstart like last year. Maybe a little bit starting a little bit slow this year, but they are sitting 6th place now. Atleti sit 3rd place, 3 points back of the lead. Moving along, let's talk about league leaders. Current league leaders, Barcelona. Barcelona put 2 goals up on Villarreal, and Villarreal put up 0. That is a Gerard Piqué goal for Ousmane Dembele. Dembele started this game, balled out in this game, and the 87th minute goal from a wonderful assist by Leo Messi and a wonderful chip by youngster academy product La Masia product Carles Elena. Wonderful chip over the goal. Keeper puts them up 2-0, and they take that home. All 3 points. This was a 4-1-4-1. I found that interesting. He's playing these super huge midfields with Dembele, Rakitic, Vidal, and Coutinho. Vidal being the most advanced midfielder in this game, oddly enough. And Messi up top all alone as like a false 9, striker number 9, something along those lines. PK with an awesome game. Dembele with an awesome game. Messi. PK, Dembele, Messi have good games. Just going to be tough out there. Santi Cazorla solid, but just not enough going for Villarreal. And what can you say? Barcelona top of the table, 28 points, only barely, and that is because Deportivo Alaves draw with Sevilla. Alaves sitting top 4, get a 78th minute from Wissam Ben Yedder. Yep. To counteract the 37th minute goal by Yoni. I take that back. Ben Yedder is on Sevilla. They pull it back late. Alaves was up most of this game. Drop it in the 78th minute. Tough for Alaves. That would have been nice for them to beat league leaders and stay top 4. Andre Silva balled out this game. Backline also for Sevilla super strong, considering the Alaves was relatively active. But Sevilla will be hard pressed. 3 big chances, 2 of them missed. 10 of their 14 shots were inside the box. Man, trying to keep pace. It's tough. Sevilla, 27 points, 2nd place. Alaves, 24 points, 4th place. So that leaves top 4 in La Liga as Barcelona, Sevilla, Atletico Madrid, Alaves, followed up by Real Madrid, 6th place Girona. From Barcelona to Girona, 1st to 6th, is a 7-point gap. 7 places Espanyol, and I want to mention that because that is a Catalonia derby this weekend. Espanyol hosting Barcelona. And that is your La Liga review. And we're going to move along. Serie A. Hey, Serie A. Oh, word up. Juventus do what they do. They were away to Fiorentina, rivals, I believe. 3-0, Juventus walk away. The boy, Cristiano Ronaldo, still doing his thing with the goal. Did he get an assist in this game as well? No, but he basically should have off the Bentancur goal because his movement in that just opened it all up for Bentancur, who had a pretty easy goal and it was all said and done. Chiellini with the odd little goal, 3-0. Juventus keep on chugging. Fiorentina just looked kind of hapless in my opinion, kind of toothless. They just had a lot of shots, but I watched this game, but not a lot of like legit opportunities. I keep wanting to like Giovanni Simeone because he's Simeone's kid, but every time I see him, man, he's tricking very good opportunities. Got to step that up. But again, Ronaldo balled out. Dybala balled out. Cuadrado was nice in this game. Matuidi, Chiellini, Mandzukic. I mean, it was that team effort from Juventus that you come to expect. Sampdoria putting 4 on Bologna. Quagliarella balling out in this game with the brace. And Capari with 2 assists as well. Milan getting all 3 points at home to Parma. If you did not see highlights of this game, check them out for the Parma article, the Parma jerseys alone. It looks so trippy out there. But they went down early in this game. Well, not early, but 49th minute, 1-0. Parma's up. Bring it back. Patrick Catroni 1-1 in the 55th minute, and then Frank Kessie with a penalty kick in the 71st minute takes all 3 points for AC Milan. I already mentioned Roma Inter. Atalanta hosting Napoli, and that really is the big games in Serie A. Serie A currently sits as Juventus on top with 40, and then Inter second with 29, Napoli third with 29, but the game to play today, Milan top 4, back in top 4 with 25 points, 7-4-3. So you keep feeling like they're doing not that great, but they're in there. Lazio 5th place, 24 points, right on Milan's heels. Torino sitting 6th. Roma sitting 7th. Shout out to Parma, promoted this year, sitting 9th with 20 points. And Chievo's done, as I've always mentioned. They're going down, down, down. They're in 20th place. They only have 2 points this whole year. They must have got docked. Anyway, moving along. I'm going to take you over, hit you off with Dortmund's league at the moment, that they are leading Bundesliga. Dortmund, as mentioned, hit them up 2-0. Jadon Sancho balling out. Royce goal. Paco Allister, 91st minute goal. Take all 3 points. Dortmund still top of the table. Bayern Munich, who Dortmund put it on, save all 3 points through this is how it's gotten for Bayern. A Serge Gnabry brace. The 20th and 50th minute, sandwiching a Yuya Asako goal for Werder Bremen, and Bayern needed all those points, and they got them. One of the better games for Bundesliga this week was Hoffenheim against a resurgent Schalke team. And this game ended up 1-1. 2 second half goals. And I believe this was incredibly exciting. 20 shots on Hoffenheim's side, 15 on Schalke's, 7 shots on target to 5 for Schalke. 4 big chances, 3 of them missed by Hoffenheim. They'll feel hard done to get the draw, but this was an active game. Pretty exciting. Schalke has basically moved up the charts here. I'll get to standings here in a second. I mentioned the Leipzig game. Frankfurt lose at home. Frankfurt sitting top 5, top 6, I believe, and they lose at home to Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg take all 3 points with Luka Jovic scoring the only goal for Frankfurt. Whoops. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do but give you them stats? Dortmund sitting up top, 33 points. Mönchengladbach second, 26. Leipzig third, 25 points. Bayern fourth with 24. Followed up by Frankfurt and then Hoffenheim. Well, that was a big loss for Frankfurt. They were sitting fifth. They would have been in love with some points there. Schalke fighting out the relegation zone. Now sit 12th with 14 points. Leverkusen is in action today. Finally, we go to my favorite country, France. The best wine, the best butter, the best bread, the best ham, but not the best football. It's all right. Can't do everything great. But some interesting results. Lille hosting Lyon ends in a 2-2 draw. I'm sure both teams would have liked all 3 points, as they both are sitting right behind PSG. Not that they're going to catch PSG, but all 3 points would have helped. Thierry Henry got off the schneid last week by getting his first win. Took another L to Montpellier, even after being up 1-0 after the 42nd minute goal by Yuri Tielemans. They get hit up in the 81st and 86th minute and take that loss. Marseille with a 0-0 draw to Stade de Reims, and Bordeaux show up and actually take points off of PSG for the first time this season. 2-2. I believe Neymar and Mbappe went off this game injured. Mbappe scored a crushing goal and immediately signaled to come off. So with all that, Ligue 1 stands as PSG top of the table by 14 points, 43 total. Montpellier second with 29 points. Lyon third with 28. Lille with 27 sit fourth. Marseille, Saint Etienne fifth and sixth with 26 points, respectfully. I'm interested. Who's leading that league in goals? That is Mbappe with 12, Neymar with 11, Memphis Depay leading Ligue 1 with 7 assists. Angel Di Maria second with 6. Ballin'. All right. We'll move along. All right. That's a wrap on the league reviews. Moving along to the forwards. All right, as mentioned here, going to keep you on tabs. The Boca Juniors versus River Plate Copa Libertadores final in South America. That is their Champions League. We were hype about it. We covered the first leg. We were all hyped to cover the second leg, and then it got canceled. And then it got canceled again because Boca Junior fans attacked the River Plate bus and destroyed it. And tear gas got inside, and players were throwing up, and they still wanted to play the game, or at least the league did. But anyway, it did not happen. Plenty of it got pushed back a day, got pushed back another day, got pushed back 2 days. Eventually, they said, fuck it. We're going to play this game at the Bernabeu in Madrid, which seemed to be a go until River Plate, not River Plate, Boca, the team whose fans basically said, hell no. Well, I could be wrong about this. I'm backwards. I want to double check it. I believe it's River Plate saying that they will not play the game in Madrid. They refuse to play it. They said this takes away from the sport as a whole because... That's right. So it was Rivers fans destroyed Boca's bus, and now the game got moved. They're saying that it should happen under CONMEBOL and that it should happen in South America, and it takes away the fairness of it by taking away the home game. But it was your fans. You're lucky that they're just not going to call this. And quite frankly, I think that's what they should do. If you're not going to show up for the game in Madrid, it's over. River Plate. Lose. Boca Junior champions. That's how it should be. But that's where it stands right now. So it's supposed to happen December 9th, supposedly in Madrid. One team saying they won't play. I don't know. That's how they get down. Moving along. Prestigious and egregious D4G award section. Dude of the week. I have to give it to Aubameyang. My man had 2 goals and assists in the North London derby. A wonderful goal. He was a monster all day. He's all over the field. If he could learn what offsides mean, he probably had another goal or 2. But, dude of the week for sure, Oba. Goal of the week, Definitely could have gave it to Oba. Definitely could have gave it to Herrera. Under? Man, this is a tough one. Because I want to give it to fucking Divock or Origi. But the goal of the week. Yeah, that's it. Because James Madison's goal was sick. Under's goal was sick. But Origi scored a goal in the Merseyside derby at the very end, poaching. He scored 21 goals total for Liverpool. He has not scored a goal since the 2016-2017 season for Liverpool. He did not score at all last year. He has scored the most goals in his Liverpool career against Southampton and Everton at 3 apiece, and this was the biggest one. They stay on the heels of Manchester City, get all 3 points. Whew, kudos, goal of the week, Divock Origi. Now, upcoming. It's interesting. Remember, we got Tuesday, Wednesday games in Ligue 1 and EPL. So, midweek Wednesday, we get a treat. Man United hosting Arsenal. I think this is the first time they played since Wenger left, so it should be interesting to see Mourinho without his favorite foil. But who knows where this game could go. Arsenal coming off the high of the derby, and Man United coming off the the low of drawing with Southampton. Either way, you never know how this goes. I always feel like these are the games that Mourinho turns around and wins, and then you're like, fuck, and he just keeps staying because he keeps winning these type of matches. Montpellier hosting Lille. That is a top 4 matchup in Ligue 1. And then we get to the weekend, and it gets even better. Starting with Chelsea at home to Manchester City. Yes, top 4, baby. Top 4 battles. If Chelsea have any real title aspirations, in my opinion, they'll need to take all 3 points here. Moving over to La Liga. As I mentioned, the Catalonia derby. Espanyol hosting Barca. Espanyol, they're up in the table, although they were as high as top 4. Now they're falling down a little bit. But they always are motivated for this physical matchup against Barcelona. Ligue 1 also has PSG hosting Montpellier. So Montpellier play Lille and PSG back-to-back in a short week. Man. And they just played somebody else too and took all 3 points. But either way, not that they have a hope in getting back in, but PSG coming off their first drop points of the season should be interesting at least. Schalke hosting BVB. As covered here on Diving for Glory, Sir Solomon informed us that this was one of the Bavarian derbies, some form of a derby, but that's their true rivals, Schalke and BVB. And with Schalke playing pretty good in Champions League and much better in Bundesliga, this should be a game for watching, as Dortmund will be away to the great Schalke fans. Should be fun. Friday, though, we also have Juventus-Inter. So if Inter were to have any type of remote hope, they would need to take all 3 points here. I'm not that hopeful. Anyway, and Lazio-Sampdoria I also think is an interesting game in Serie A this week. But that's upcoming. In the meantime, though, that's the match. It's all over, man. We did it, man. Another episode, man. You know what I'm saying? It's over. T4G, Diving for Glory, posting every Monday and Thursday in Champions League weeks. Tune in. Hit us on YouTube, on Facebook, on iTunes, on divingforglory.com, on Twitter at divingforglory. Pep Corsiola, your man Sir Solomon back, hopefully injury free. That's that match.
Diving.
What do you think about them?
There's nothing more to say.
Diving in
Glory.